Hey guys, and welcome to this week's video. In today's video, we are discussing tips on or for starting a YouTube channel in 2020/2021 because the year 2020 is almost ended, and I'm sure you're already making plans for the new year. So if you are an intending YouTuber, if you've always wanted to start your own YouTube channel but just didn't find the motivation or the confidence to, you do want to keep on watching. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Uchechi and I am a content creator, digital marketing consultant, YouTuber, amongst other things. In this week's video, like I said, we are discussing tips for starting a YouTube channel. When I eventually started my YouTube channel, I posted on Instagram saying that it took me over a year, over a year, to finally start my channel. So I had gone through an entire process of getting ready and then went through the entire process of procrastination. You're just looking for excuses here and there that hindered me from starting my YouTube channel, but I eventually started. So I think that post triggered a conversation in my DM, and I had a conversation with two people on getting the confidence to start a YouTube channel, and that is what triggered this video. So I decided to do this video to share with more people so that more people can benefit from these tips. So if you are struggling, or if you have struggled for the whole of 2020 to start a YouTube channel, I'm hoping that in 2021 you finally get the confidence too, and that this video gives you that confidence that you need. So these tips will be shared, or these tips are largely based on my experience. These are the things I did that eventually made me start my own YouTube channel. Now, the first tip is practice. You can practice in different ways. I started practicing with my Insta story and Instagram, right? So before 2020, before March, April-ish, I didn't used to post videos on Instagram, right? It was just pictures, and it was just pretty pictures of myself, selfies, family pictures, that kind of thing. But when I realized that I wanted to start a YouTube channel, which was late 2019, I decided to start getting on video more. So I started doing some Insta stories. I think I went live like once or twice, I can't remember. I also started posting videos of myself on Instagram. Now, I did these for two reasons. One, to get familiar with recording a video of myself and also speaking on video, and two, to also let my audience get familiar with seeing me on videos, because prior to that moment they had never seen videos of me. It was just pictures. So I wanted to ease myself into the whole video creation process, and so I practiced with my Insta story and practiced with videos on my Instagram. So you can practice with it. There are a lot of video platforms that you can practice with. There is TikTok, there are Instagram Reels, you have your Insta story, you can go live, you can start posting videos of yourself on Instagram. Or if you are not ready to start testing with video platforms yet, you can practice speaking in front of people. Just do mock shots in front of people, or practice speaking in front of a mirror, which is the oldest trick. But I would advise that you start on a video platform so that you know exactly what it will look like when you eventually start your YouTube channel. Now, the second tip is getting the right equipment, and this you don't have to break the bank. So my equipment, I'll divide the equipment into three segments. One is your visuals, second is the sound, and third is your editing software. Now, for your visuals would be your camera and your lights. For camera, if you cannot afford or do not have a DSLR camera or any other professional camera, then don't let that hinder you. I am currently recording with my phone. I don't own a camera yet, so I currently record all my video content with my phone. I use an iPhone XS, and no, you don't need to have an iPhone first start your YouTube channel. I have seen content creators or YouTubers who have fantastic visual content and they use their Android phones. So the trick is in knowing how to manipulate the devices that you currently have at your disposal. So there are people that have professional cameras but are putting out poor visual content because they haven't quite mastered the features of their professional camera. So even you that has a mobile device would end up doing better than someone that has a professional camera, because you know how to play with what you have at the moment. So what I mean is adjusting your camera settings, knowing your camera angles, making sure that your lighting is good, your background is clear, you know, and all of those things, right? So any phone with a good camera works. If you can't afford, however, to buy a professional camera, then please, by all means, go ahead and splurge, get the best camera in the market, but make sure you are utilizing the features of that camera. So if you're not sure how to use it, you can Google, you can YouTube tips, you know, on using the type of camera that you have, just so you are guided and just so that you make sure that you're putting out fantastic visual content, because it makes no sense if you have a professional camera and then the visual content is not meeting up expectations. Now, I did mention adjusting your camera settings. I'm going to share a screenshot of what my camera settings currently look like somewhere on the screen, but please note, and I don't know if this is the same for Android devices, but I'm guessing it's something similar. Please note that adjusting your camera settings will affect the size of your videos, meaning your videos will take more space on your phone. The storage capacity of my phone, I played myself. The phone I had before this had I think it was 256 gig storage space, and because I hadn't even gotten into this whole content creation phase, I was basically just using my phone to take pictures, send messages, chat, just the traditional things. And so by the time I wanted to do an upgrade to this XS, I looked at the storage capacity and I was like, you know what, I haven't even used up to 32 gig, so why should I get a 256 gig again? And I was trying to save some coins, so I decided to go for a 64 gig, which has now put me in so much trouble because I'm always battling with space. Now let me tell you what my YouTube creation process looks like. Now, because I battle with space, I cannot successfully film one YouTube video in one take, right? So depending on the length of the video, I will have like 3 or 4 sessions. Now I'm recording this, and before I even get anywhere, my phone is going to fill up, so I'll have to stop, transfer the video from my phone to my laptop, to my hard drive, delete from my phone, and then I'll have to watch the previous video to be sure where I stopped so I can pick up naturally, and I'll start again. And this can happen 3 or 4 times depending on the length of the video. So for this will probably happen like 3 or 4 times. It's just so that is what my content creation process on my phone currently looks like. So please, before adjusting your camera settings, take that into consideration. So if you have if you're limited by storage, then you have to find a storage management process that works for you. If you can afford to, then make sure that you get a device that has a large storage capacity. Now, something else you also want to get is a tripod or a surface where you can balance your device before recording. This is to avoid shaky videos or crooked videos, and just so you have freedom to do things like us, but just so you have the flexibility to move around or to position yourself however you want. So having a tripod helps you, because if I decide to change the position, my sitting position anywhere in this space, I can, because I'm not relying on any fixed surface. I have a tripod that I can move around. Okay, that's why I'll usually or typically suggest a tripod instead of stacking against something. But if you cannot afford a tripod at the moment, then please place your phone against a sturdy surface so that your phone is steady when you are recording your videos. So now the next under getting the right equipment is your lights. I have explained what my lighting situation looks like in my Q&A video, but I'll just do that again here. So I currently have 2 wall lights and 1 ceiling light, which are all white LED lights. I have 1 LED light here, and I have 1 mini ring light thing going on here. So my warm light comes from here. Well, it's mixed, it's not purely warm, it's a mix of warm and white, because I don't want any yellow tones going on. So my warm light comes from here, but every other thing is white. and then my filming space is painted white, just so I can get crisp and bright visuals. Now depending on what your filming space or setup looks like, you may or may not require artificial light. This is what I mean. Now I have two windows. This is one, and there's another one as big as that here. So I have two windows in my filming space. That should give me fantastic natural light. However, they are closed because my filming my filming environment is very, very noisy. That's what I'm talking about. So I can't afford to open my windows and let in natural light. So my windows are always closed. So because I cannot get in natural light, I have artificial light. If you are lucky enough to be in a quiet environment and you have huge windows that let in natural light, please go ahead and film with your natural light. The only thing you will need to do is figure out the best angles so that the light complements you in the video. I don't know if that makes any sense, but just so that you don't have harsh lights falling directly on your face, right? So if you have natural light is the best light. So if you have natural light, please go ahead with it. But if you do not, then you will need to get artificial lights, and you can start with one ring light or one LED light, and as you grow, you invest in more lights. Now the second, so light and camera were under visuals, right? So the second part of getting the right equipment is your sound. Now because my filming space is very noisy, I have an external microphone. I have two actually. So I have this one that I put on top of my tripod, and I also have a lapel mic. So I use both depending on the filming situation. But yeah, I have external microphones because if I do not, my voice will get drowned in all the noise going on in my background or in my filming environment. Yeah, but if you are in a quiet environment, and also depending on how far or close your filming equipment is from you, you may not need an external microphone. So if my filming environment was quiet, right, I'm not very far from my phone. My phone, I can grab my phone, right? So my in-bit microphone would have worked. But because my environment is noisy, I can't rely on my in-bit microphone. I need to get an external microphone. So just look at your filming environment, see what works, and get an external microphone. Now these external mics are not expensive. I got let me show you my lapel mic. So this is, sorry, I'm trying to bring that up the case. So this is my lapel microphone. I have shown it in my Q&A video. Let me untangle or untwine or unravel, my goodness. So this is what this is what my lapel microphone looks like. It's reasonably long, right? It's reasonably long, even though there are longer ones, but it's reasonably long. I got this for less than 10,000 naira. If you want, I can leave the link to the Instagram page. I got it from an Instagram vendor in Nigeria. So if you want, I can leave the link in the description box so that you know where to get yours if you're interested in this. But this, like I said, is less than 10,000 naira. So if you need to get external mics for sound, then you can start with this. And as your channel grows, you invest in better equipment. Now the third point under having the right equipment is your editing software. If you use an Apple device, whether it's your iPhone or a MacBook, then iMovie comes free with all Apple devices, so you may not need to worry about getting editing software. If you do not, before editing, I'll find out what tools you can use. If you're not sure what tools to use, I'll probably write it somewhere on the screen or link in the description box. But if you're an Apple user, you have iMovie at your disposal and you can start with that. I'm only recently trying out Final Cut Pro. I'm using the trial version, and that's just because I'm trying to see what more I can do with my editing. So if you notice, the video from my Q&A video, the visuals look a bit different from my other videos, and that's because I use Final Cut Pro for that. Before that video, all other videos were edited on iMovie. So please, if you have iMovie and you have an Apple device, start with iMovie, right? It's user friendly, it is easy to use. Easy to use means user friendly. But yes, it is easy to use and it does the job. It actually does the job. So you can start with that, and again, like I have said, for your lighting, for your visuals and your sound, as you grow, as your channel grows, and you can invest in other editing software like Final Cut Pro and a bunch of others that are in the market. So for instance, I didn't say I was going to wait till I could afford to pay for Final Cut Pro before starting a YouTube channel. I started with iMovie. I have done the work with iMovie, but because I'm not looking for extra features, I'm not trying out my hands on Final Cut Pro. But please start with iMovie or other free video editing software that you know. Try your hands on it, get used to it, and then you can now invest in more advanced editing software. Okay, now my third tip for starting a YouTube channel in 2020 or starting a YouTube channel in 2021 is having a bank of topics. Now this helped me a lot. In fact, a number of topics that I have or that I have done came from my bank of topics, right? So only a few that I have done are new, are fresh, like this one, my Q&A video last week, and I think one other video. But all of the topics or all of the videos that I have done came out of my bank of topics. Now what do I mean by that? A bank of topics, well, it's a bank of topics, so it's a compilation of topic ideas for your channel, right? So what I did was make sure I had something that would take me for 2 months, because I did not want to start and then after 2 or 3 videos run out of content ideas and interrupt my video upload schedule. Right? So that's why I wanted to make sure I had content ideas for 2 months. So yours doesn't have to be up to 2 months, it can be 1 month, but just have something beyond your first 2 or 3 videos. You can even get content ideas from videos that you upload. So in the comment section, you may get questions that will spark video content ideas in your head. You may get DMs on Instagram, depending on what platform you use. And I mean, but just make sure before you start, you have a handful of topics, so that even though you do not get those suggestions coming in, you can go on and your video upload schedule is uninterrupted. Okay? Now I know you may ask, where would I get these topic ideas from? I haven't started, so I do not even, how would I even know what to talk about in the next 1 month or in the next 2 months? Now this is what I did. Before I started my channel, and I'll talk about that in the next point, I had a lot of topic ideas, right? Random topics. What I did was to fine tune. So I started by picking things that come to me naturally. I also started by picking topics related to things that I have had my own personal struggles with, because then it's easier to talk about them since I have experienced them, and also picked the topics from what my channel was going to be about, which then brings me to my fourth point, which is decide what your channel will be about. Now, because you are just starting, you may be tempted to speak about every and anything on your channel. Before I started, I thought this channel was going to be a lifestyle channel. So my topics were on makeup. I don't even wear makeup, so I don't know why I thought about that. My topics were on vlogs. I would have struggled greatly with that. My topics were on other lifestyle content, reviews, digital marketing, content creation. Guys, that would have been confusing for me. That would have been confusing for YouTube, because YouTube would not know what type of channel my channel is, and so it would affect suggesting videos to people who are on the platform looking for videos to watch. And it also would have confused my viewers and subscribers, because we would have been like, we don't know what to expect from Uche this week. We don't know what to expect from Uche next week, right? So how was I able to sift through all of those ideas that came through my mind? I settled down to think about things that come to me naturally. Now, if you are a one-man team like I am, so I come up with my topic ideas, I do the filming myself, I edit myself. The entire content creation process from step 1 to step 100 or step whatever, from A to Z, is done by me. So the last thing I want to do is complicate my content creation process. So why would I pick a topic, or why would I pick a segment that would have me doing over 1,000 takes just to get one video right? So what I did was to pick things that I knew I wouldn't struggle with. I wouldn't struggle with digital marketing, even though for now I'm talking about Instagram, right? But I wouldn't struggle with that. Now my topic or my channel is centered around 3 main themes: digital marketing, which is Instagram for now, content creation, and entrepreneurship. Now, only currently talking about two, which are digital marketing and content creation. But entrepreneurship is because I am an entrepreneur, and I'll be 1 year next month. So make sure you watch out for that video, because I will be sharing my tips and lessons learned in my first year. But yes, those three topics or those three themes are the themes of what would shape my channel, or what shaped my channel. So I made sure when I was creating my topics that these topics reflected around the themes that I had already picked for my channel. So this is very important because it would shape a lot of things for your channel. It will just give you a sense of direction. I know it may seem hard at the beginning, but just really sit down and think, what are those things that come to me naturally? What are those things that I can speak about confidently? What are those things that I wouldn't struggle with when it comes to either creating the content or creating the idea or even filming the content? Now, my last tip for starting a YouTube channel in 2020 or 2021, I'm excited. Just that, my darling, just that. Do not get so, what's the word, comfortable, so drowned in the process of preparation that you now delay starting. I'm doing this video to make sure you're not like me, who took over a year to start a YouTube channel. I had talked about it so much. I had told so many people. It's like, yes, I plan to start a YouTube channel. Yes, I plan to start a YouTube channel. When I start it, I start next month. My God, I had talked about it for so long. I had never started that I stopped talking about it altogether, and I was like, I'm going to shut up about this till I am ready to start, and I eventually start. So this video is to ensure that you are not in the same trap of getting ready, of trying to seek perfection before you start, and then you will get perfect along the way. For instance, I mean, there's only so much preparation you can do. So since I started filming videos for my YouTube, I've now been able to learn how to place my lights correctly. Before, I would place it in front of me, so I'll have harsh lights on my face. But the more I recorded, the more I understood how my lighting worked. I've also been able to identify good angles or great angles in my recording space. I'm also getting better with editing. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting better with editing. So all of these things I wouldn't have gotten better at if I didn't start. So start. There's no point going through all that preparation phase only to just stop and not start because you're scared that whatever you put out will not be great. See, you would cringe. You will cringe at your first few videos, whether it's your first one or your first two or your first three or your first 10, but you would cringe at the first set of videos that you put out. It is only natural. But the more you do this, the better you get and the happier you become. I mean, there's a video on my channel. Whenever I come on my channel and that video just starts playing automatically, I mute it. I'm like, what is this? So it's natural. You will cringe at your first few videos, but do not let that deter you from starting your YouTube channel. And that's it, my darlings. I hope this video helps anyone who has struggled for the whole of 2020 to start a YouTube channel. I hope that going into the new year, you finally get the motivation or the confidence to start your channel, and I hope that the tips I have provided in this video help you to start your own YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you have more questions or if you want me to talk about more things, please let me know in the comment section, either down below or on Instagram. I'm very good with my DMs, so if you want to send me a DM on Instagram, this is my Instagram handle. So feel free to send me a DM and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. So I will see you in next week's video. Till then, stay safe, stay fabulous, and have a fantastic weekend. Bye, guys. Guys, for the record, this video stopped 4 different times. But I love YouTube.